Welcome to Real Estate Done Rightish, your favorite podcast for realtors by realtors. I'm Jen.
And I'm Annalie, and for a combined 30 years, we've been working in this industry just trying to figure it out.
And by figure it out,
no,
we're sharing that line today.
And by figure it out,
we mean we've only cried in our cars twice this week.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've heard you say praise words.
Praise words? I've never heard that phrase before.
Like praise and worship, like from the church days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. I'm just saying we made it. Well, we're almost through another week.
Yeah. I mean, we're recording on Hump Day.
Yeah.
In the evening of Hump Day. So.
Yeah. The eve.
Yeah.
The eve of Hump Day. Yeah. All right. Well.
It's happy hour.
How's your week going?
It's going. Yeah. I had this is just real. This is real talk.
Yeah.
And before we hit the record button, I said, I don't want to be complaining because nobody needs that in our lives. Like, energy is contagious, and I'm aware of that. And today I had to definitely reset my energy. So yesterday I went door knocking, and it was hot out, and I knocked, I should count, but it was probably close to 70 doors. It was more than 2 hours, and only one person answered the door.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a lead,
Right.
And I know that this is how it goes, and over time it all evens out, but it was just it just was like meh. And then I got up today, and I have some personal stuff going on and whatever. I just was feeling funky, and I was like, no, go to the office, just get in there, do it. You don't have to door knock today, but call through your database, like, do your things, care for your people. And I got in here, and my brain just wasn't working. This was so foggy.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on? So I tried to do a few things. I'm like, no, go hit the reset button. And I treated myself like a toddler. I was
like food.
Yeah.
Nap.
I was like, what does she need?
Yeah.
She's hungry. She's tired. So literally I did. I went home. I made myself a good lunch. I got a little bit of sun while I ate my lunch. So I sat outside on my deck. I took a nap. I took a walk. I took a cold shower. And now I'm here. And I feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your week going?
Good. I'm still definitely recovering from COVID.
Yeah.
I'm very sleepy.
Oh, you're like
So
a baby
I also,
too.
yeah, I
We're
also,
like a couple of babies.
I've also been needing some extra naps in my life, which feels weird because I used to be a napper.
Are we
like
old?
In college, I was a napper. Like, people would make fun of me for being
really?
like, I slept all the time.
You're a nappy knee now?
I just love to sleep. I mean, I just love to sleep. For most of my life, I've loved to sleep.
Really?
I got best rester as a kindergartner.
I'm jealous.
I just, but I'm not really a napper anymore. So it feels weird I've had a couple of days where I'm from 6 to 8 o'clock PM.
Oh.
I just
I don't like
just
that
hit a wall and I
for
die.
myself.
And then I wake up at 8 and I'm like, oh no. But then it's been fine because I just need that extra little bit of
you're still recovering
rest.
from COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's kind of been my week. Just working and still
In other
recovering.
news, we're going to go watch the Timberwolves game after this because we're 3-1 in the series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we both, again,
Wore
have
stripes.
wore blue and white matching stripes, but not on purpose. I think we're going to eventually need to look back and see what percentage of the time our outfits coordinate.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
so far I
probably
think
it's 75% of the time, I think, maybe more.
I think we've only not coordinated once.
The last time we didn't coordinate.
No.
Every other time.
And we don't. This is unplanned coordination.
Oh,
That's the
yeah.
whole point.
It's like we're just on the same wavelength. Here we are. All right. So what do we got on the docket today, Annalie?
Okay,
What are
I've
we
got a
talking
bunch of
about?
stuff.
Oh, gosh. I love it when you
Look
have
at
a bunch
I
of
just
stuff.
have a stack of stuff.
You have notes upon notes
I do.
upon notes.
It's Jen's working on her accents today. I don't know what this is, but good luck, everybody. First, a little housekeeping, as they say.
Housekeeping.
We had a lot of people that downloaded my pre-qual questionnaire.
Yeah.
And I just want to throw out to anybody who's listening that did, I'm going to be sending out an updated version to everybody that already signed up. Or if you sign up, I'll do that as well.
Love it.
Because as often happens in this business, when we talk about something, I often bring that back and I tweak things in my business. And so that between talking about that on that episode and then teaching a class, I did some updating to that questionnaire.
Great.
So I will I will give everybody, so you'll have 2 questionnaires. And I'm kind of keeping both, I will say, because the one that I talked about in the episode was like a lot of the same. It was a lot of questions to get to motivation.
Yeah.
And they were kind of asking the same thing.
Redundant.
And I realized that I never ask all of those when we were like talking through them in the episode. I pick and choose based on who the person is.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of using that as like a secondary, make sure you ask some of that.
Yep.
My new one is much more like the nuts and bolts of what do I need to set up the appointment and to set up that they're going to get an email from me and you know what's next. So it's going to be like a nice little
super
extra.
Yeah,
a little
that's
extra
great.
bonus. Okay, so again, I think every week I'll have a little bit of probably an economic update.
Oh.
I'm guessing, unless there's just nothing really going on in the world.
Is that going to be the case? Probably never. Can I also
Probably
just
never.
say that
Yeah.
part of what I think is added to my stress today, I was like, before pre-nap me, lay down, I'm like, I'll just like scroll social media real quick. And everything was irritating me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm overstimulated by social media.
Yeah.
And by how much on Facebook in particular, almost everything is an ad. And I know you can switch it over to the friends tab, but then I get stuck in like the political stuff. And
Yeah.
anyways, okay, that was a side note. But
Well, I think that's real. I think I've heard just a collective exhaustion.
yeah.
Like that the world is just exhausting people. And again, I don't think I've heard this from people on both sides of the political spectrum. I've heard this from people who are
We're
in
not
different like
evolved enough to
socioeconomic
handle
situations. It's just like there's so much
stimulus.
happening and it all feels just ugh.
Yeah.
And a little like I think just contentious. It does feel like we've talked like coming to the middle on a lot of different things would be good for everybody.
Yeah.
And not political middle, just like being less split and less divided. But everything just feels, a little contentious, a little exhausting, a little like, what is really going on?
Confusing,
Like,
overwhelming. And yeah.
So, okay, we're going to
Anyways.
let's take it in a deep breath. That's not how you do.
Have you seen
Jen forgot to take a deep breath. She just went to the sky.
Have you seen the reel with the people doing? Oh, geez, excuse you. Have you seen the reel with the people doing yoga and there's the Grinch doing yoga with it?
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna post it.
Okay, I need to see.
I gotta just. So they're doing yoga. It's like take a deep breath and let everything out that's been in your mind. And he's like. Like lets out this wild Grinchy exhale, quote unquote, and it's hilarious to me every time.
I love it. I want to see it.
Kind of what I was just doing. Anyways, I'll share it in the show notes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so back to the economics of the world.
Oh, thank God.
So, do you know what happened this week?
Probably a lot of stuff. What happened?
The Fed met. So I just wanted to like quickly touch on that.
And what did they say about the rates?
Not a lot. So first of all, the Fed, just for people that don't know, they hold 8 policy meetings each year. Mm-hmm. Did you know that? They're not every month.
I thought it was quarterly, but
no,
so it's
8.
bi-quarterly.
Yep. And they're called the Federal Open Market Committee meetings. FOMC.
Listen how fancy you are. Federal
Open Market Committee meetings.
Memorize that.
And that's 8 times a year. So I think it's important. Again, like 5 years ago, I didn't pay attention to when the Fed was meeting because it was just kind of like, I don't know. Things felt less volatile. Things had been kind of steady Eddie for a really long time. And so, but now I like to kind of keep track of when they're meeting. During those meetings, their goals are to review current economic and financial conditions. Mm-hmm. So they, as a committee, just sit down and talk about that. And they decide whether to adjust interest rates and assess any risks facing their 2 main goals. And their 2 main goals are to keep prices stable and to keep employment levels healthy.
Prices like inflation, prices of what? Just
goods and services.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
Just general. So
to stabilize inflation effectively.
Or yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The cost of goods.
Cost of living, kind of cost of goods.
Yeah.
And so how do they do that?
Pray.
Pray. Okay. Hallelujah. No, that's not.
That's the second time I've heard you say praise words.
Okay. No. What does the Fed do? They talk about what? What's the big
interest
thing?
rates.
Yes, thank you.
The
So
federal interest
that's
rate, yes.
their main tool for hitting those goals.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they want to boost spending and the economy, what do?
They lower rates.
They cut rates.
They lower the cost of borrowing money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know I'm smarter than
You
you might
literally
think.
just said they'll cut rates to make borrowing cheaper. And you said it, and
I'm
you didn't
smart.
see this
No,
beforehand. I
didn't.
love it. You're so smart.
Thank
Okay,
you.
if they want to cool things down, like if inflation is going out of control, what do?
They raise rates to increase the cost of borrowing money.
And to slow spending.
And to slow.
They want
'cause
people
are
to
like,
stop spending.
I don't want to spend money right now. It's expensive.
That's right.
Yeah.
So technically, the only rate that they control is what's called the federal funds rate, and that's what banks actually charge each other to borrow money.
And if you want an in-depth explanation of this, go back and listen to our first market economic update because
There's more in there. Yeah.
Haywire on this stuff.
Well, but the federal funds rate is the bank to bank
Yes.
rate.
Yep.
And then what that eventually does is through kind of trickle down is it affects other rates like mortgages, car loans, credit cards.
Yep.
So there was no change at this meeting. They held steady. And the chair said they are really at this point sticking with a wait and see approach.
Well,
They're not saying anything about plans. Like a lot of times they will
Pretty fascinating.
future predict. And right now they're like, we don't.
Can I speculate on why they're doing that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm about to.
Yeah.
I feel like because there's been so much unpredictability with what's happening with other executive orders and economic policies, they're like, we're not going to put anything else out there that could cause, because every little blip, every little tweet, every little something can cause the stock market to go bananas. And
in other markets. And I mean, just their commentary can do a huge number on markets. And it's really interesting. The markets have been super strong in the last week, since we talked last week.
Tariffs. So now there's a 90-day decrease on tariffs. I think the tariff to China went from 135% down to 30% or something.
Yeah.
And the tariff that China had on the U.S., both of them went down for 90 days significantly. And it's just, I don't even know that I would call it fascinating. It's interesting to watch. I'm going to call it a game.
Yeah. It
feels like a game.
It does feel like a game.
And it feels like frustrating to me because a lot of people, whatever, maybe I shouldn't say that. No, I can say whatever I want to say.
You can have feelings about anything.
Yeah, it just feels frustrating because so many it affects everybody.
Lives.
Yeah, it affects.
And well-being and emotional well-being and
It just feels like willy-nilly to me. And it's like, okay, I can respect difference in opinion on how we should handle interest rates and tariffs and all of that. But right now it feels so willy-nilly. And I'm assuming that's part of why, again, the Fed is like, we're holding tight.
Yeah.
Because all of these other
We're
variables.
not going to speculate. There's too much going on.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That was a fun update.
I mean, it was like a non-update update, but important to know that as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm excited. Do you have a quiz for me? Do you want me to draw something?
Which one would you like?
Are we going to do charades?
We're going to play a game at some point, but which one would you want to talk about next?
This one.
Okay. This you actually sent to me.
Oh.
This was posted, and this is this is from the National Association of Realtors. Thank you. And it is home projects with the best return on investment. Do you remember what they are?
I do remember the top one because it actually was so fascinating to me.
Okay, so you can share because this is your topic.
Steel door.
A new steel front door. Now I'm guessing a new front door in general that's like efficient.
Yeah. Okay, but here's what was standing out to me when I was reading this. I'm like, it's also one of the lowest cost items.
Right.
So it's like, yes, the return on investment is what's the percentage?
100.
100. Yeah, you're going to get all the value
all
back.
the money
Well,
back.
Of course, because how much does a front door cost? A steel front
probably
door.
$1,000.
A steel
with
one?
install, maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see why you'd see that. And then what's the lowest one? Let me see if I can remember. I think the last one on there is a bathroom renovation.
Yeah.
But it still
on
was
this
a great
list.
On this list. But it still was a great return. It
50%.
was like, yeah. Okay.
Well, there's a couple that stick out for me on here. Okay, so some of these I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Like they have on here that you will get again, a less expensive renovation, but closet renovation is number 2 with an 83% return.
How much does the closet renovation cost? Well, it really depends.
It really depends. Yeah. I mean, I think about, like, I've sold some, like, right now I have a 725 pending, and I have $1 million house pending, and, some houses with like some nice walk-in closets.
Yeah.
And like one of the 725 has just like the wire, original, like builder grade coated wire. You know what I'm talking about? Like the white coated wire system. It's not like it's a California Closet incredible system with like. Well, according to this, they'd get 83% of their money back. I don't know.
I don't even know how much would a California closet in a home like that cost. How many thousands?
I mean, it depends on the size of the closet, but I think you could be at 10 really fast.
So you get
expensive.
$8,000 more on the list price of $1 million home.
I don't know if I believe that. Here's my problem is that they have that as 83% return. They have a minor kitchen upgrade as 60% and a complete.
I don't agree with that.
And a complete kitchen renovation is 60%. Now, in our market, I think this is wrong. In our market, I just know watching.
Yeah.
Buyers are going bananas over pretty kitchens and pretty bathrooms.
Yeah.
And I feel like, maybe 60%. I also tell people don't do that to make money.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So while you're doing that, I'm pulling up the other thing that I saw from National Association of Realtors. So there are so many, maybe we could share this, but there are a lot of areas in the U.S. that have plenty of homes for sale.
Yeah.
And I think it's also worth noting, we are in a housing shortage, and there are parts of Minneapolis that are in a high housing shortage. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing the value back in a bathroom and people being like, still not 100%,
no. but
what else
I don't know. I wonder how much it would be here, because I just see those homes, I call them the shiny pennies here.
Yeah.
Shiny pennies are going for, they're getting multiple offers every time.
Yeah.
Just right out of the gates.
Yeah.
And some non-shiny pennies, honestly. If you can even just stage a property cute right now in Minneapolis, like especially in some of the hot Minneapolis neighborhoods.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just had a little tiny 2-bed, 1-bath in Northeast, like prime Northeast too. Minneapolis. The kitchen was like old, like 70s hospital green, like minty green. Yeah. I did have them paint some of the walls. The walls were green.
Totally. So for those people not from Minneapolis, Northeast Minneapolis is like the artist kind of quarter.
District,
like it's it's pretty.
Well, it still had like 50s like hardware on the cabinets, old cabinets. Even the paint wasn't in great shape, but the walls were the green. The cabinets were the green. Everything was like, this green color.
We're gonna go big.
Yeah,
we're going home.
And my client had bought it that way and was like, I intended to do something with this, and I didn't. And so we're reselling. So I had him paint some of the walls, like there was like a knee wall.
Yeah.
Or not a knee wall, like a piece of trim.
Yeah.
Like halfway up. So like above the trim, we painted them white just to like brighten it a little bit. But people loved that stupid kitchen. It was so weird. We had multiple offers and multiple people were obsessed with the kitchen. I'm like, it's not in, okay. Yeah. I just say, okay, great. Okay, cool. Love that. That sounds like this is a great match for you. Yeah. That's what I say.
That's great.
So some other things on the list. A new fiberglass front door got put in at 80% return. Interesting. New windows, 74.
That surprises me.
What? That's that high?
Yeah. Well, maybe in these old homes, if they're like old broken windows, but
yeah. Interestingly, those two properties that I'm talking about though, at like 725 and $1 million, they both were around the same age. I think they're both about like between 10 and 15 years old. So relatively newer construction. Both of them had some popped seals in their windows and buyers held on to that like
really
with clenched fists, and they wanted those taken care of or a credit towards getting them fixed.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah. So I found that kind of interesting because then again, you sell in like a hot neighborhood in Minneapolis and the windows are like falling apart and people don't care.
No, and some
They're
people
100
are
years
really
old.
adamant about also keeping the original
windows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, those single pane, but they're so beautiful.
They are so beautiful.
I had those in my old house
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah, you had great windows in your old house.
Yeah, I loved them.
Yeah, all the panes and.
Yeah.
Okay, basement conversion to living area. This is only 71%. Now, I'm gonna call BS here for our market because that if you're adding square footage, unless you're going bonkers on how much you're putting into it money wise, you're gonna get your money back.
Oh yeah.
And same, this is saying attic conversion to living area. Same thing. I'm gonna throw both of those in Minneapolis, and I would love if you are a listener outside of the Twin Cities.
Which I looked at our stats today, and we have listeners coming in from all over.
I love it. So especially, I want to hear like,
oui. I'm like, there's like a lot of people from France listening.
That's bizarre.
I know.
Okay, well, I guess I'll brush up on my French.
Maybe there's a French man listening
for
you.
Okay.
She's single, guys.
Okay, calm down. So anyway.
She's flustered. I'm so sorry.
So anyway, if you do not live in the Twin Cities market, I would love to hear your thoughts on some of these because I think that would be a really interesting, like, share anecdotally some thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
For different markets. Yeah. I would love to share that next week if you're hearing this. And then like add a new bathroom. Again, this is 56% return on investment. Now that's an expensive thing to do. I know here, like, just for a 3/4 bath or even a half bath, I've had clients get quotes. Now again, it's where and how fancy do you want to go? You can go cheap. You can
when
go.
You're in the
but
city.
I've seen like the cheapest bathroom. Like, how do I put the cheapest 3/4 bath in my basement? Yeah. And I'm doing it right at the stack. I don't have to like move 20 to 30,000 starting. Just right out of the gates. But I don't know that you wouldn't get more than 56% back on that. I'm gonna say maybe 75. I don't think you'd get more than that, but a bathroom in our market is also like,
especially with these houses that are like, if it's a one bath to begin and you add a second, that's worth a lot. If it's a young family and
if you can get it on the main level, like in Minneapolis, in our old homes, we have so many properties that there's one upstairs and then maybe the second is in the basement.
Yeah.
And if you can find a place to put a half bath on the main, like, I feel like that's a huge thing here.
Yeah.
New primary suite. I don't even know what that means. Are they saying like, but that's not add a bathroom? Are they just saying like updated? That seems dumb to me. Whatever. We're going to skip that one. Okay. And then bathroom renovation, 50%. Okay. And that's all the ones on the list. But I think this is interesting. Again, I would love to hear
this is such I think it's markets. So interesting too because it's a question we get a lot. And you know, when I'm out meeting with people that are like, I might sell in a year, they're wondering what projects to do. Or if they're like, I might sell in 4, I've got a kid that's still going to graduate high school. Is it worth it?
Well, those are two really different conversations too, right?
They are.
Like I just renovated my mom's kitchen and we're getting ready to sell her house. Yeah. And I was like, well, let's do it ASAP. I mean, we meant to do it like 10 years ago. So we guess we didn't go that ASAP. Yeah. We were like,
it was a real
like slow burn. Slow burn of getting there. But then, but I was like, let's do it so you can enjoy it. Why are we living with this kitchen that's, like, let's get it renovated and beautiful. And that's what I tell clients a lot. So, okay.
What else you got?
Well, let's end with the game.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about another kind of statistic.
Okay.
This is about where can younger buyers afford homes? So where do you think has the highest home ownership rate for people under 35? You sent this one to me too. So where is it? Highest home ownership rate for people under 35. So where are young people buying
Minnesota.
homes? Yeah, Minnesota. It's crazy.
That kind of surprised me, actually.
I'm shooketh.
You're speaking in King James again.
That's right. That's for the French listeners.
No, King James
I know, it's British.
No.
Oh, Bible.
Yes.
Oh, no. I don't know what happened to me. I'm shocked because our prices are pretty spendy here.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. But I think I also have seen a trend, though. Lots of young professionals in their 20s and early 30s.
I was going to say, I feel like what is interesting to me about stats and data is how many other variables go into this, because we have a lot of Fortune 500 companies in Minneapolis. Like, we've got a lot of young professionals that are there. What's the income?
Yeah, but I think our income to housing, to affordability is a really nice number. And I think that's what's pushing this. Yeah, I think it makes sense. And we've got...
Minnesota's a great place to live, so if you want to reload, I know a good realtor.
Come live with us. Yeah. I do think too, there are opportunity properties still here. You know, our condo market is in certain neighborhoods is relatively soft. Like you can get into a condo for not that much money and have a really nice livable expense.
Do you want me to fill you up?
Sure. We are having a glass of Prosecco today.
Yeah, we are.
Because this is Happyish hour and
we're Happyish.
I'm less ill than I was last week, so I'm having a drink. Yep. Okay, let's talk about some of the other ones that are high. West Virginia. Interesting.
It's so beautiful there.
It is beautiful there. I wonder if that's kind of a cultural thing. Michigan.
Really? That's high?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I view Michigan much like I view Minnesota. Cold.
Yeah.
Barren.
Well, I don't know about barren. I spend a lot of time in Michigan. I go there every summer almost.
What? How do I not know this about
my
you?
My aunts both have summer homes on Lake Michigan.
What?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm going when you're dog sitting for me. Yeah.
Everybody I'm dog sitting for Annalie.
Northern Michigan is very cold. Like the Upper Peninsula is very
call that
snowy.
the UP.
The UP, very snowy. Again, if you're in Michigan and you know more about this, you can tell me. But my aunts have houses.
It's like the lake effect.
Yes.
Yeah.
They both have homes.
You guys, if you live in Florida, do you even know what the lake effect is?
Okay.
Probably
yes,
not.
I think people do. Okay, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina, Indiana, Kentucky, Delaware, Utah. Those are the top. Round out the top.
Sing the song that
I don't
we
know
learned
that
at
song.
elementary.
I don't know it. Okay, let's go lowest. Let's flip it.
I have no idea.
Well, where is like one of the most expensive?
Manhattan.
No.
LA.
Well, New York is number 2.
Oh, we're going by state.
State.
New York.
Yeah.
California.
California is number 3. You haven't hit number 1 yet. What's the
most
lowest
expensive?
homeownership rate? It's not the most expensive. It's the lowest homeownership rate for people
Louisiana.
under 35. No, think of somewhere that's very expensive. DC. You're gonna have to think outside the box. Very expensive places to live.
In the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
It's not California. It's not New York.
It's
Maine.
It is
it's
a
like
destination
it's gotta be
for
the East Coast.
No, it's a destination for people going on vacation.
What?
It's an island.
Hawaii.
Hawaii is number 1. So we've got that doesn't shock me. Hawaii. Also
Poor
just
Hawaii. I wasn't even imagining Hawaii because I was just imagining
Hawaii.
our motherland.
Yeah, the lower 48 as they call it.
Yeah.
I mean, makes sense. I know that even people that are older that like grew up there can't get property because it's so competitive with people that are trying to buy vacation homes. Like there's just so much competition for property there. New York, you got that one. California, these all make sense. This one is a shocker. Tiniest state in the nation.
Oh God, don't test me.
Come on, little bitty. This is East Coast. Little baby, tinier.
I don't know.
Rhode Island.
I'm bad with geography.
Then we got Massachusetts, Boston. That makes sense.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Boston, the properties there are so expensive. Oregon, Washington, also that tracks. Seattle, Oregon's so beautiful. Although I was in Oregon last fall and I always look at properties when I'm traveling, not necessarily go into them. Like,
you just
I don't call an agent, waste their time. But I look at Zillow or our app or whatever. And I saw a lot of small oceanfront, but like oceanfront properties that were not crazy. And when I'm saying not crazy, like under 500.
Whoa.
Yeah. On the coast of Oregon. Yeah, Washington makes sense. Alaska, also, I go to Alaska every summer, and I keep my tabs
You're so
on.
well traveled.
No. Okay, yeah. But I keep my tabs on Alaska real estate, and where I am, you can.
Okay,
it is expensive,
what is the stat
but
about
not
Alaska?
crazy.
That it's affordable or not affordable?
No, they're on the lowest. They're in the top 10 for lowest homeownership rates. Now, this is again for people under 35.
I haven't been to Alaska, but sense. I don't feel like I would want to live there.
Very similar to Minnesota.
Really? I just think about the really, really dark winters.
Darker than here, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, similar. I got to southern Alaska, and it's not that different than here.
Interesting. Okay.
Weather-wise.
Okay. That was
fun. Cooler in the summer, though. It's, for, again, people that aren't here. It's May, and it's hot here. Okay, do you want to go game or do you want to talk about your
I don't know, I was just thinking about that, but do we want to talk about it?
let's dig into this and we'll see how much time it takes us.
Okay, great.
Okay. We're going to play a round of, and we can do as many of these.
Is this going to make me look stupid?
Oh, no. There is no wrong answer.
You're not going to ask me like the state capitals of every state.
I mean, you just failed on Rhode Island being
know.
the smallest state. So
I know.
no, this is not a geography. This is.
This is a history lesson.
Dun, 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 dun.
Show song tune.
That's my
Song tune.
what are they called in the afternoon? Game show. That's my game show.
Game show. That was your game show song.
We are going to play a round of real estate agent Would You Rather.
Okay.
So these are going to be, some are fun, some are challenging, some are weird.
Will it make me cry?
Jeepers, I hope not. If you start crying, we've got bigger. We need to switch the conversation and talk about something else. Okay. But I thought what we're going to do is I'm going to read it. I want you to pause. Don't answer like in 5 seconds. Okay, because if you're in your car and you're listening, I want you to have a minute to also answer.
So I'm going to give the people a beat.
Give the people a beat.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about it a little bit. There might be some that we'll talk amongst ourselves. There might be some that this prompts some conversation. There might be others that we're just like moving on.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I get excited about this stuff.
Okay, would you rather accidentally show up to a listing in gym clothes, and then I'm going to say a first listing appointment in gym clothes, or call a client by the wrong name the entire time you work with them?
For sure, gym clothes.
Yeah.
For sure, gym clothes. I also feel like I could explain the gym clothes.
Totally.
It would be a different story if I was like stinky gym clothes. Like if I had just gotten out of
sweaty,
like a spin class or something. Lifting is different, but if you come from like hot yoga, that would suck.
Yeah.
But the wrong name the whole time.
Can you imagine?
They should be correcting me. I mean, I can't blame them.
It's on them. They should correct me.
What if I was? That's so embarrassing.
I'm horrible with names.
Yeah.
And I legit, like before I go to a listing appointment,
give them
I
a
will
name
write.
tag?
No, but I should. Like I just come slap it on them when I get there. No,
we're getting real friendly.
I write the names of the people or name on the top of a piece of paper that I'm going to like have my portfolio open.
This isn't it. Oh,
and
really?
their address.
Okay, so I've learned this about myself. I'm a very like visual learner and also kinesthetic. But I actually will remember a name if people wear name tags, because when I see their name next to their face, it's not just about like cheating and looking at their name. Then if I see them 3 months later, I'll remember their name.
It? Yeah.
So I'm like, I should figure out some hack for myself, because I'm not great with names either, because I'm moving so fast.
Yeah.
I have to like slow down. But
ADD.
then if I like, maybe I have ADD.
Yeah, I think we do.
My daughter does.
Probably.
She just got diagnosed with it. Yeah.
You want to be sharing that?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay.
I think it's fine. Yeah.
I love it.
Anyways, yeah, I feel like maybe I need to like visualize their name in my head when they say it.
Yeah.
But also
or write it down.
Write it down on a folder.
I have it. Well, I have it on their folder because I still keep paper folders. I write, and then if it's a first meeting, I literally write it.
Have you ever called
on my
somebody
portfolio?
by the wrong name the whole time?
I don't. Well, not the whole time. I think I have asked somebody, like, I'm so sorry, it's Bob, right? Or like, what do you prefer to be called? If it's like Howard,
You're
I'm
like
like,
Bob
you
or
introduce
Robert,
me
and
to
they're like, my name's
Bob.
Nathan.
And then I say, that checks. Yep. Okay. This is a pretty funny one.
Okay.
Remember to take a beat.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Would you rather do an open house next door to your ex or a haunted house? And you can choose which ex we're talking about.
Gosh, I do have multiple exes. Okay. Host an open house next to my ex, or host a haunted open house?
No, or yeah.
Okay.
Sure, let's say that.
We'll go with that.
You look like you're gonna cry right now.
Do I really? I don't feel like
your
I'm gonna
eyes
cry.
got like kind of glassy.
It's the Prosecco. Well, let's see, which ex. You know what? Today I'm feeling a little spicy, and because of that, I would probably go with a haunted house, because I feel like, bring it. I got my sage. I'm like super holy. I can handle haunted.
Okay.
What would you choose?
It depends on the ex.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some
I have
exes would
some
be
exes that I'm
fine.
like, I'll take the ghosts all day. And then other ones I'm like, yeah, great. They'll probably bring me a coffee. We can chat. Because we're like friendly. I like them.
That's fun. Okay.
This is like a professional one or like a more professional scenario. Those were silly ones.
I like silly.
We'll go back.
Oh, okay.
To some more of those.
Look at you taking us on a journey.
Would you rather have 10 buyers ready to buy but no inventory?
Oh, feels like life right now.
Or 10 listings with no interested buyers?
Oh.
So really, would you rather like be buyer heavy in a seller's market
sure,
or seller heavy in a buyer's market?
Seller heavy.
Yeah.
I feel like seller heavy.
Which
it's a certain amount of work to stay in front of them, I feel like, in communication. And then you also need to be, because I feel like the main question from them is, what are you doing to sell my house? So then you have to do things that may or may not contribute to the sale of their home.
Yeah.
And you have to get creative. But I'm like, I would rather manage that proactively than be running all over Kingdom Come with buyers that are panicked.
Yeah. Well, you're not running all over because there's no inventory.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's no inventory.
I don't know. I go a little bit.
I feel like then if there's no inventory or there's very low inventory, just the potential for a sale is harder. It just feels harder to me than a listing.
Well, you weren't in the business during the foreclosure crisis.
No.
When you would have listings and it would be like.
No, but
they could be on the market for a year.
10 years ago, it was probably actually like a more even market. In 2015, that's when I was selling. Still hot seller market in Minneapolis.
It wasn't a hot seller's market, but it was definitely
More
a recovered.
leaning.
I would say 2016 was like fully recovered here. So like
okay.
2015 was definitely leaning towards, it was a moving market.
Yeah.
You know, like
But I remember
2009.
some listings I held for, I mean, it wasn't like it was in the crash.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was like that again, well, I don't know. We're still asking buyers with no inventory.
I just think if you have buyers that are ready to buy and they've got money, you could also you could be door knocking for them. You could be like looking
both
for.
have opportunities.
They both have opportunities. Yeah. I don't know.
Look at us being so optimistic.
I don't know which one I would prefer though. I mean, I'm a listing agent, so I'd take the listings all day because I don't work with buyers. So I don't want 10 buyers, but my team would.
I feel like part of why I like listings from a business perspective is that there's a lot more opportunity for efficiency. Mm-hmm. You can hold in that kind of market a lot more listings, but you also, I mean, we talked about this in an episode we're going to air about resiliency. I feel like you have to be like right now, and I don't know, again, there's different markets around the nation, but like you have to be resilient in the way that like we're having hard conversations. If you're holding a listing for 3 or 4 months and you're having to have price reductions and talk to them about expectations, and it's the same, you know, in that, what would you rather? Both situations are like, you have to have tough conversations.
Yeah.
To be successful,
yeah.
I think.
Set expectations.
Yeah.
Did either of us pick? Oh yeah, you said listings.
Listings, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather negotiate a deal with an overprotective attorney or an overbearing parent? So who would you rather have meddling, an attorney or a parent?
A parent.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have an attorney.
I can draw the line with my parent.
It's not your parent.
Oh,
no, it's
parent.
like a client's parent.
Oh, no, an attorney for sure.
Yeah, I go attorney. Listen, all day
parents,
long.
If you're listening right now, you got to chill out.
No, but parents get emotional, right? And they're like, sometimes also they're not professionally in real estate. So,
okay,
and then they bring emotion to the table.
I'm
worried about you saying anything. No, I'm just kidding. But like an attorney, they're just making sure that things are done legally and like
you can like handle it very professionally. I think the challenging thing with parents in general, I mean, you're right. They're concerned. I would be concerned too.
Yeah.
But I think the classic like meme in real estate is that you have a dad that shows up that hasn't inspected it. He's there for the inspection. And there's something really sweet about it that if father's like, I'm going to protect you. So
Yeah.
they feel that their job is to offer protection. So they're looking for everything that could be wrong, but they're also not an inspector. And it's like, that is an inspector's job, is to protect you. That's why we hire them. But yeah, it's challenging.
Yeah. And then it would be like, or my dad who has come with me to multiple properties and looked, and he just like walks around. He's like, we can fix anything that's wrong here. Buy it. Don't do an inspection. That's stupid. Don't waste your money. And so he went the other way. Anybody would love him.
Yeah.
He'd just be like, yeah, I don't know. It's not falling down. We can fix everything. Let's just fix it if it's broken. Sounds good to me.
It's good.
Yeah.
You have more?
Oh yeah.
My
We got a
gosh,
few
there's
more.
so much more.
Okay. A lot of these are like, I don't know, they're dumb. Like, I'm going to read a couple of these to you.
And then we can tell you.
And I'm going to talk about how dumb this is. Well, would you rather lose a client because you told them the truth about the market, or keep them by sugarcoating and risk later disappointment?
I mean, obviously tell the truth about the market.
Obviously.
I've fired clients before.
Also, that's just like the only way. That's not a question.
No,
you can't sugarcoat things.
I mean, you can. You could choose to be that kind of realtor, but I'm not.
I couldn't.
I couldn't either.
It's just a nightmare. It is going to bite you.
We've both seen this with other people. I've experienced it to a point. I've let people go. I've said, I don't think it's a fit to work with you anymore.
Yeah.
For me, and the example that I talk to people about is like, sometimes you got to prune in order for their fruit to grow.
Yeah.
Like, you got to prune that client sometimes.
Okay, another one of those. Would you rather help a client buy a property you think is a bad investment, or try to talk them out of it and lose the deal?
What is the deal?
Well, yeah. I mean, again,
ethics.
A bad investment for who?
Okay, yes, you're right. Like,
there's nuance
can't
here.
Make the judgment.
I'm not going to make the judgment, but I'm going to try to like lay out, because I have had people that bought a house that I was shocked. And I was kind of like, I'm going to tell you everything that I'm worried about with you buying this house. My sister is a great example. When my sister bought the house she bought, I said, I'm going to make you sign a document that says you can never get mad at me or like talk smack in front of our family for letting you buy this house.
Did you ever sign it?
No, but I said it in front of my parents. So they knew. They were my witnesses.
Oh, good.
Because I was like, this house screams to me like hidden issues. It just felt sketchy, and she's been renovating it for 13 years.
Yeah.
And there's been some sketchies. So, yeah. So I wouldn't like say, I'm not going to let you buy this house, but I was like, I'm going to tell you with certainty, everything that I think is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, another one. This is like ethical stuff that's so stupid. Would you rather take on a listing with major undisclosed issues or walk away and lose a big commission?
Obviously, walk away.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a lawsuit. That's like my goal. One goal.
I also don't
my actual one goal in real estate is just
not be in a lawsuit. I also want to sleep like a baby at night.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's
Yeah. Okay. These are some random wild cards. Would you rather work in luxury real estate with very high risk and very high stress, or would you rather work in mid-market homes with steady but modest income?
I would choose mid-market, I think. I don't know what the high risk is. Is it's like you put in time and money and it doesn't sell if it's very high luxury, like a $20 million property or something?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, this is like my own money baggage, but I'm like, I don't feel like I belong in that market. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, nothing against any of those homeowners at all. I just don't feel like I fit in that market.
Well, they might not be your people.
Yeah.
Or like the people that you connect with the easiest.
I might not be their person either.
Sure.
They might be like, yeah, she's too whatever.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure people have thought that about me.
Yeah.
Would you rather never do paperwork again, but you must hold 5 open houses every weekend, or never host open houses again, but have to do double to triple the paperwork?
Open houses, I'd take them all day long.
Really?
Over the paperwork, yeah.
Yeah, I think I take
triple the paperwork.
Can I just have an assistant do it? Do I have to do it?
No, you have to do it.
Oh, I don't know. Is paperwork that hard?
Triple the paperwork?
I mean, yeah, our purchase agreements here are like pushing 50
No, I'm talking
pages
about
sometimes.
MLS input forms. I'm talking about like
I don't fill
subdividing
those out.
contracts. Who does
Am
that?
I supposed to?
What the frick? Who does that for you? I'm like, do you have a frog in your pocket that fills out your forms?
No, I just
The office does it?
input them into the MLS.
Wow.
I'm not gonna write it all out. No, I just put it in the MLS and then I hit save.
Well, to me, that's like paperwork.
Oh, admin work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that stuff. I mean, I can do it, but I don't like it. I'd rather be with people.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the introvert extrovert.
Now here's some funny ones.
Oh, she's smirking.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
Would you? This might be my favorite one.
Okay.
Would you rather have to rhyme everything you say during a listing presentation, or sing your pitch like a musical?
Oh my
number?
God, sing it. I would sing it. I can't rap, but I can sing. I can sing like a
so
little
sorry.
bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would sing it.
I think I'd rhyme.
Sign here.
Okay.
Wait, the people would be so uncomfortable.
I think I could slip in some rhymes though.
No, you have to rhyme everything.
Oh, that's hard.
Rhyme everything.
Oh, everything you say.
Let's pretend we're in a listing appointment. Yes, we're going to do it. Yeah.
Okay, first we have to go through agency. I'm going to do this purposefully, not flagrantly. Does that rhyme? Not like an Eminem style rhyme. No.
How did you think of flagrantly for the rhyme word? I was thinking of like me rhymes with agency, and you said flagrantly. I'm like the biggest word possible.
First, we're going to talk about fiduciaries. Then we're going to talk about where to put your birds like canaries.
Birds, i.e. canaries.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's going to take me a long time to get to my point.
It's going to be like a 4-hour appointment. Wow.
My listing appointments are already too long. I can't rhyme.
Singing would be hard though too, because you'd have to make up a melody the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather only show homes with spiral staircases or only show homes with pink shag carpet?
Spiral staircases.
What?
Why?
I'm going
You're
carpet
so
all
shocked
day.
by that?
Well,
I actually don't like spiral.
People do not like spiral
They
staircases.
slip on
They're
them, too.
scary.
They are a little scary.
Like my dog wouldn't go up and down one.
Why can't
I would
they
have to
make
carry my dog.
Why can't they make the staircases more like sturdy?
Less spiral. You could do
Like
you
bigger
could do like
steps.
switchbacks. Oh yeah, well
Something.
space.
They're like tiny steps, and then they're wood, and they're like slippery wood. Yeah, you're right. A shake. I'm changing my mind.
Because carpet's easy to change.
I'm changing my mind. Yeah.
Flooring is easy to change, but
Yeah.
also you can't really put like if you're using a spiral staircase, usually it's because you don't have room to put in a regular
You can't
staircase.
change it.
Right?
You could put a fire pole in there.
How do you get up?
You climb it like a monkey.
Oh, shimmy shake it right up that fire pole. Yeah, I'm sure that would work for so many people.
It's a versatile. It's very versatile.
Okay. I feel like we gotta have to do the rest of these funny ones.
Okay.
Would you rather drive a car with a giant I love real estate magnet or wear a house costume to every showing for 1 week?
I think I would do the magnet, but the part of me wants to choose the house costume because I feel like it's so silly and so funny.
It would be fun.
It would be so fun.
Yeah, I think I'd do either.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a game. This actually just came up when we started this podcast. One of my first bosses messaged me and reminded me there was I'm going to call it a quote unquote game. I think that they were just being mean to me.
Oh, jeez.
But there was, and I'm not going to say what the magnet was, but there was a magnet that got put on our cars, or it was a floating magnet. So when it got put on your car, your job was to try to get it on someone else's car without them seeing it.
Oh, okay.
And like you'd want to put it somewhere where it was going to take them as long to find as possible.
Yeah.
So it was just this little game about this like traveling magnet, and it
Yeah.
was between everybody on our real estate team.
Yeah.
And then They also just put like something that was naughty on my antenna in the back of my car
What did
once.
they put on it?
I'm not going to say.
What?
But it was naughty, and it was there. It was a human body part that was on the antenna of my car. Small plastic. If you can't figure it out, I'll share it with you
Is it
off.
penis?
Yeah. Why'd you have to say it? It was there.
You brought it up.
It was there. But I didn't say what it was. It was there for like weeks. Weeks before I realized it was there, because it was very
Everybody
tiny.
in the office was like dying.
Well,
you were driving around with a
how
thing
many
dingling.
people thought I put it there? And I was like in my 20s. It's not cool. It's not cool at all. I was very upset when I found it.
Were you actually mad?
Well, I was like, how many? Like, I was showing houses to clients. How many people?
My
Like,
God. That's so funny.
How many people were
My
just like,
sister-
oh wow,
No,
that's
we
a
should-
choice.
We should start up office pranks here. My sister was telling me about how you were at the same office as her.
Yeah.
For a period of time. And she was telling me about office pranks where she put like fish in somebody's office in a container. Yeah, I don't remember all I should ask her to like.
I was in
write
leadership when we were in the same office, so I probably didn't get notified of these pranks that were happening.
No, they were like really funny pranks that were happening.
Nobody ever included me. Thanks a lot, Bethany.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're in leadership.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather get locked in a model home overnight or stuck in traffic with your talkative client for 3 hours?
Oh God. That's a tough one, actually. Probably a client.
This is introvert, extrovert again. I would just sleep in that model home. Model homes are beautiful. Is it staged? I'm there.
No,
I
it's
get like
not staged. You're
I get like a
laying on the
night off. I can just hang out.
linoleum floor by yourself. It's cold and barren.
Oh no. Okay, then client all day.
Because I'm like, it's only 3 hours. I'd be like, I can't. I want to get back to my life. Like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can chat it up for 3 hours, kind of, or I can just.
Oh, I can definitely chat for 3
kindly
hours.
say, can we just have a moment of silence?
Well, have you ever had? So I work in northern Minnesota sometimes. I had clients that we were gonna do tours of homes in northern Minnesota for like 9 hours one day because they didn't have a specific location. He traveled for work.
Yeah.
So they were looking at a bunch of different lake properties.
This is why we become friends with our clients sometimes. You spend a lot of time with people.
Well, I picked them up at 7 a.m. Drove them up
You road
north.
tripped it.
We road tripped it together. I knew them after that end of that weekend.
Yeah,
like we
that's
were,
fun.
yeah.
When I first got into real estate, it was a thing to like one of the client care things you did was put together like a little car concierge package in the back seat of the car. And so I would like take my buyers around and I was like a Lyft driver. And did you do that too? It was like this cute little, I had a cute little basket.
My insurance agent forever has told me do not put people in your car.
Yeah.
And so, no, I
Nobody ever told me not to do
rarely put people in my car.
I wouldn't do it now.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it now either. And I actually use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the right insurance.
Do people ask you to take them around? Oh, I suppose if you're doing like a lot of hours.
Yeah, or I've had like older people that aren't super comfortable using their GPS. I'm like, just follow me. I won't lose you. Okay.
All right, that's it.
Well, we can do more. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling great. How are you feeling?
These haven't been too stressful for you?
No, it's fun. Listen, guys, if you're listening and you want to turn this off and this is boring, then just turn it off whenever you want. But if you're like driving around doing some showings, listen, it's kind of entertaining.
Well, and
it's like a radio show, but
I'd love to hear what, again, if people have strong thoughts about any of these, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, or things you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, one more. Give me one more.
One more. Would you rather have to stage every home with inflatable furniture?
Oh, God.
Or decorate each listing with only items from the dollar store?
Oh my God. Inflatable furniture. That would be funny. Have you seen the reels of people that are like speaking very seriously and they're holding like a hand mic? It's going to be no surprise. I'm going to say something that's something. It's not crazy. It was on it. You guys, she looks at me like I'm so scary. I'm not that scary.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's all over the internet, so I feel like I can say it.
Okay.
So she's got a mic and she's like marketing a listing, right?
Yeah.
And she's like kind of crouched down, just saying like, all right, this hallway, blah, 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 blah. And then she goes out front. Maybe I shouldn't say it. Whatever, I'm going to say it. So she goes out in front of the house and she's like, it's something to the effect of like, check out these. She's like talking about the landscaping. Have you seen this?
No. Well,
So
I've
she's
seen
like-
people that
She's
do
like,
this vibe,
check out
but
these bushes. These bushes are amazing. They're almost as amazing as my mom's bush in the 1980s.
wow. You know what's so interesting?
Yeah.
I feel like we should do a whole episode on creative marketing. There are so many agents that are doing these now where they're like saying really off the wall stuff.
It's off the wall, but it's funny,
Or
and
they're
people-
no, but they're like they have like an entire persona for their Instagram reels that is not them, or like.
Yeah.
You know, they're not being like cheesy salespeople. They're totally bringing a vibe to the table that is not for everybody, but is certainly for some people. And it's their properties are garnering a lot of attention. You know, like I just came across this woman. This was when I was COVID doom scrolling.
Yeah.
She literally was posting like 1 to 3 times a day, a reel that was just her. And this is like a kind of an older woman. And it's just her in kind of a crazy outfit, like a boa or like a crazy hat or like just a crazy outfit at the front door of a house. And she would say like, welcome to my new listing at 1122 Palace Street. Woo! And she'd like put her arms and like dance around and then like open the door and go inside and slam it in the camera's face. That was the whole video. Was posting 1 to 3 of those a day for the same property. Until she had another property. And she was just literally like posting reel after reel after reel of her doing exactly the same thing in a different crazy outfit in the front door. But I looked and she has like a lot of followers that are not,
Why
you know,
do you
it's
think
not,
that is?
I think people find it just silly.
Funny.
It makes them giggle.
Listen,
Because she just has such a specific
it's okay
vibe.
for me to be silly?
Yeah, I am. I'm giving you silliness permission.
Thank you.
But it's just so interesting, like the creative marketing world of real estate, and people are pushing the boundaries and they're pushing the professionalism envelope a little bit. And they're like, you know, and obviously,
Well,
as
I
long
think
as
it's
your
because
clients
we're
like
fighting
it,
against this old stodgy like.
yeah,
I don't even want to say used car salesman because honestly, I feel like that's also like an insult to people that are selling cars. And I'm like, that's also a profession and I'm not trying to dog on that. Like, that's a real thing. But we're fighting this impression that people have about real estate agents that is I don't even know what, it feels kind of like it's an uneducated, but like trying to be educated in a suit, kind of old, stodgy, stuffy, kind of salesman-y vibe.
Yeah.
So it's weird in some sense that we would be going to silly to like combat that. But I also think it's like so unique to the person. It's 100%. It's like, okay, if people know that I'm really smart and I've had success and whatever, then I can afford to be silly. Yeah. But if there's no track record, you might not. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I think
I don't know.
I don't know that some people have a huge track record when they start that, but they can also come in and they can say, well, they can also come in and they can say, listen, I've only had 3 listings, but I got each of them over 1 million views.
Yeah.
Like using this strategy. I mean,
coming in that understands TikTok.
Yeah. So I think it's just, and different people are going to be attracted to different things. Again, like I don't think that I could do that and have it work for me. Yeah. Because it's just so not like, you see how I get uncomfortable. I'm like, this is professional world. I've been professional.
And I pushed the boundary.
Yeah. And once I know my clients, I'm a little more open and a little more silly, but I'm really there to be it's different vibes with me.
But I also think you are also not showing up in like a pantsuit, you know, like you are still very you. I
did
silly.
In my 20s.
Yeah, we both did that, but like
I wore a pantsuit.
I think the authentic you just is. I mean, you are silly, but not. That's not like.
I don't lead with silly.
No.
You have to be really close to me to get to the silly part.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
okay,
I think it's interesting though. I think the creative marketing conversation, and I mean, that's the shout out that I gave last week on our happy hour. He's doing that, and and his is like realtor to realtor messaging, but he's still getting a big following and getting views. And we have another agent that might be on our podcast at some point.
I have to get back to him, but
he's a huge like niche marketing guy, and like and part of his thing on his website is just like, I'm not for everyone. But what I do is for some, and it works. Yeah. And I think so. It's just I just think it's fascinating to kind of like seek those people out and keep a clock a little bit what they're doing, because it looks fun. It's interesting.
It's fun, and I think like different. I've been thinking about that a little bit, because I feel that with my own personality, like how much, actually on the way here I was thinking that, like, how much can I lead with that and how much should I not? And you feel the sense of taking, it's like, I'm taking a risk, and there is potential reward, and that's any risk reward. Like, it feels like the greater the risk to some degree, the greater the reward. But like, Brandon, I don't remember his last name, but his handle is Brandon Horatio Real Estate or something, right?
That's his last name.
No, a tumor or tomb something. Yeah, no, like his last name, I think on his profile is different.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyways, I imagine that there's these points at which you're kind of like evaluating, how much risk do I take here, and how much can I push this and still, and that's forever evolving. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think of the one, I don't know her name, but there's like a blonde girl in probably her 20s.
In our market?
No. Oh. But she's one that talks very seriously into just like a little lapel mic that she's holding.
Yeah.
And she's like,
I think this might be the same one.
This hallway is colder than your soul. Or like, she's saying like the silliest thing about as she's walking people through the property. And I'm like, oh, this is entertaining. I don't follow it, but I like when it pops up. It's kind of, and I watch like it's not that captivating to me.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take. And there's so many different interesting takes that people can have.
Yeah.
When they're creatively marketing. I don't know. It's interesting to me.
Me too. Are we done?
I think so. Did we do it?
Yep.
Okay. Well.
Happy hump day, everybody.
Except
it's Friday when they're listening.
This is going to drop on Friday. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Yep. Hope everybody finds a new...
Oh, you know what we didn't say?
Appointment.
Guess what we didn't say yet?
What?
Follow us.
Oh, yeah.
In all seriousness.
And share. And if you are following us, share with a friend or your office or... it feels like we've got like a very small but very solid group of followers right now.
Yeah, we do.
And so if you are liking this, share with your office or share with on your social media. We would really appreciate if
validating.
If you like it, then
somebody
share
else
with other people that might like it.
Yeah,
because we're looking forward to like creating a community here. So.
Yeah, for sure. And you can email us. That'll be in the show notes. You can DM us on Instagram. We don't really use Facebook as much for that kind of thing, but if you have feedback or you want to email us or you want us to talk about things or questions or anything, we do want this to be interactive because that's so fun.
These episodes specifically, we want like as much.
To be like a listener wrote in and they told us this story or they had this question or they had this thought or they disagreed with what we said. Any of it. Yeah. We're here for it.
If this episode could turn into like mostly just interaction with the listeners, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
If not, it'll be us.
If not, we'll just keep saying stuff.
All right, that's all for this episode of Real Estate Done Rightish. Until next time, cheers to doing it rightish.
We'll try. I'll just do it as fast as it feels okay. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general knowledge and informational purposes only and do not constitute professional, legal, or financial advice. As licensed real estate agents in the state of Minnesota, we are not attorneys, financial advisors, or tax professionals, and we cannot provide advice in those areas or in regards to any agency or broker-specific topics in any other state. Any reliance you place on the information provided in this podcast is strictly at your own risk. We strongly encourage you to consult with qualified professionals for specific guidance related to your individual circumstances.
Wow! That was good. All right. Holy the bloopers.
Okay.
The bloopers. You know,
What's the
I feel
line?
like, did you watch Schitt's Creek ever?
Yeah.
The mom and that, how would she say the bloopers? The bloopers.
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Oh, put it in the bloopers.
Put it in the bloopers.
So that's two.
Put it in the
You went British.
Put it in the bloopers.
No,
bloopers.
you had it good the first time. Though. You're really fucking it up.
All right.
All right.
Okay, are we ready to start?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Welcome to Real Estate Done Right-ish. Let's try that again.
I don't
How
know.
does it go again? All right. Welcome. I already say all right, but I'm not going to say it this time. Welcome to Real Estate Done Right-ish. I'm Jen.
That's
miss
not
the line?
you
How does
missed
it go?
all of it.
How does it go? Gosh, dang
Welcome to Real Estate Done Right-ish, your favorite podcast.
Oh,
for
yeah.
realtors by realtors.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Ready now? Are you ready?
I don't know. I hope what I'm supposed to say just
Okay.
comes out.
Welcome to Real Estate Done Right-ish, your favorite podcast for realtors by realtors. I'm Jen.
And I'm Annalie, and for a combined 30 years, we've been just trying to wait. What?
We've been working in this industry together, trying to figure it out.
Not together.
For a combined 30 years, we've been working in this industry, just trying to figure it out.
Okay.
And by figure it out, we mean,
And by figure it out.
I thought we were just going to go with this.
Oh! No, we can't do that.